Hi, I'm Jack. This is my wife Cindy. We planned on doing the open house together this weekend, and then my boss called. When we come back, I'll tell you how that phone call led me to create this list of top 10 open house safety tips and apps. So, the boss called and said,
Jack, my boy, I need you in Milwaukee. We're testing out a whole new line of steins. I need you to test them for backsplash, my boy.
but I was going to do the open house with Cindy.
Cindy. We need that line of steins, Jack. See you up there? Hey, hi to the wife.
Yes, sir. My duties working for Howard Hansel's Beer Steins occasionally call me away for field testing, a duty I seldom shirk. I was torn. On one hand, I was needed for some heavy lifting in Milwaukee, and on the other, my wife had our first open house scheduled. Look, I'm like most guys. I work hard to make a living and to take care of my family, and I worry about my wife's safety when I'm away. Before the boss's call, my plan was to hang around the house Sunday during the open house. I figured I'd trim the orange tree, pull some weeds, sort of be a presence but stay out of the way, smile at the people as they came through the yard. Now I had to rethink things. I didn't like the idea of Cindy being alone with the house open to the general public. The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I became. It was time to make a list. When I was done, I presented it to my wife.
You're so thoughtful.
Thank you.
I've put together a list of my own.
Oh, let's hear it.
You first.
Tip number 1, notify a neighbor. Now this is just good common sense. Ask a neighbor to be available in case you need him the entire time of the open house. Enter his phone number into your phone and be prepared to use it if you need it.
Yep, it's on my list.
It is? Okay. Here's tip number 2. Remove all guns, knives, jewelry, and prescription drugs. Lock these in the trunk of your car during the open house.
Got it.
You put that on your list too?
What's next?
Tip number 3. Completely prepare the interior lighting before you put up your open house signs.
So that I'm not surprised by someone while I'm turning on the lights?
Yes, thank you. Tip number 4. After setting up the signs, come into the house and lock the front door. These are the last few minutes to go through the house and make your final preparations. You might want to put away pets.
Sorry, Charlie. Meow.
And put on some soft music.
No.
Even if people follow you to the house as you're getting your signs set up, ask them to wait outside for just a minute while you get things ready. Tip number 5. Unlock the front door and take your station near it. Do not give tours. Stay by the front door the entire open house. You can alternate between sitting and standing depending on the flow of people. Ask the visitors to come back to you with their questions. You don't want to find yourself alone in the back of the house with somebody. If it's a nice day, keep the front door open.
I knew that would be on your list, so I put it on mine too.
Oh, okay. Tip number 6. Account for every person that comes into your house and make sure every person leaves. If you've lost track of someone, it's better to call the police or the neighbor to sweep the interior before you go back there.
Yes, dear.
Tip number 7. When the open house is over, lock the front door. Then go around the house and make sure all the sliders, doors, and windows are locked. Step outside, lock the front door again, and get your signs. Put them in the garage and lock the door so that I know you're safe.
I will. Is that it?
One more. Tip number 8. Pepper spray. It's your last line of defense.
I know, sweetie. I'll have my pepper spray armed and ready.
Thank you. What's on your list? She handed me 2 pages of safety apps and gadgets replete with links and photos. We drilled the list down to the 2 technologies we both liked, and we added them to the list. Tip number 9. Use your phone as a panic button. The 2 apps we like are Lifeline Response and Noonlight. They're both subscription-based services. The Lifeline Response app turns the screen of your smartphone into an emergency button. If you remove your thumb without entering in your code, emergency responders are sent to your location. Noonlight also connects you to a real live dispatcher, who then calls the closest 911 center and relays your information, including a detailed map of the location of your phone. And tip number 10. Use an app-enabled wearable safety device such as Revelar, Stiletto Charm, Athena Necklace, Nim Ring, and Safelet Bracelet. These wearable safety devices allow you to activate a panic button with your fingertips that connects to your phone via Bluetooth, which then activates calls to preset friends and family members. There are links to all of these products in the description below. So, that's how I came up with my worried husband's top 10 open house safety tips and apps. When I came home from my business trip, Cindy relayed with pride how she was busy all day with more than 20 groups that came through. She told me that she never left the area by the front door and how she had asked the people to come back to her with questions. She said she pulled it off flawlessly, like a well-rehearsed play. In the end, we didn't need the panic button, or to have to call the police, or to run to the neighbors. We didn't need the wearable safety tag or the pepper spray. Nobody stowed away in the house or left windows open. We didn't need any of that. But we had it all in case it was needed, and we had a plan. That plan and our rehearsal of it reassured me of my wife's safety while I was away.